As a follow-up to the video that you just watched, here are the top 3 types of graphs that we see on a lot of science boards. You have your line graph, okay? This is used to show change over time, okay? So example would be the speed of planes in different years, plant growth over a couple of days, okay? Another type of graph that's very common in science projects is the bar graph. You use this to compare different amounts of things. So for example, the number of birthdays in each month, sales of a different type of fruit, those are just some examples that can be displayed in a bar graph. It's comparing 2 or more things. Then we have a circle graph, okay? This is a graph of favorite pizza toppings. You use the circle graph when you know 100% and you want to show data that adds up to 100%. For example, the percent of students in each grade, the percent of favorite ice cream flavors. Okay, and when you add all of this data, so if that's 15, what would the darker area be? Right? You would subtract 100 minus 15 to get this area. A lot of times the circle graphs, each section is in a different color. This one's a little difficult to see because it all looks black. So it all looks like it's, well, either pepperoni, cheese, or supreme. I'm not sure which one, but at least we can see sausage is 15. I would have to say that the bar graph is the most popular one with science fair projects because you are trying different trials. And so for this one, you could use the different sizes of your airplanes and how many feet they flew each time, like what was the most and what was the least you would see there. So this one would be the most popular. Another example of a diagram that we see quite often is when you want to explain complex things. For instance, if you wanted to explain the different parts of an engine, or not an engine, but a helicopter, you could draw, okay, a drawing, a sketch, or other visual representation that shows an idea, and then you label it, okay, like engines, the main router, the cockpit, the tail boom, the tail rotor. So you would label them so that as you're using these words in your explanation, you would the reader would be able to understand, and these labels help identify the specific parts to make this complex idea a lot easier to understand.